First, we'll start, of course, where are we starting? In 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4. Okay. It says here, now in the King Jimmy, it uses the word charity. Now that comes about because of that guy, I think it was Jerome, who did the Vulgate, and he used that word, and he translated it charity. But we know that this is a word that starts with an A. What is it? Agape. You guys are such brilliant Bible scholars. Yes, it's agape. It's that self-sacrificing, get up on a cross, Jesus kind of love. Amen? So, love suffers long. So the very first one is that love suffers long. What does it mean to suffer long? Well, it means to be patient in the midst of persecution or trial. Like when you're at work and they got that coworker who's jumping up and down on your last nerve and giggling while they do it. Yes, love is patient, right? But not just any kind of patience. It's kind of like, you remember King Saul, right? The first king, right? King Saul and David, right? And Saul, he tried to kill David about 24 times. Now that to me is a big hint. Somebody doesn't like you if they're trying to kill you 24 times. But David, what did he do? Even when he had the chance, he says, I will not touch the Lord's anointed. I will not assassinate the Lord's anointed. I will not assassinate the character of the Lord's anointed. He was patient. Who did he let handle it? Did he handle it himself? No, he let God handle it. And what was the result of that? He got the kingdom. He got the kingdom, married the girl, lived happily ever after, eventually, after he learned some things. Amen? David was not a perfect person. And it says here that love is kind. Well, what does it mean to be kind? Well, I looked for a biblical example of this. And how many of you remember after David became king and Saul and Jonathan had died, but remember the friendship that David and Jonathan had? Knit together closer than brothers, right? A love that exceeded the love of two brothers, or the love even of a woman. They had such deep affection for each other. But David says, when he got to thinking how blessed he was, anybody here ever contemplate how blessed you are? And he was thinking about it, and he goes, hey, is there any more children of Jonathan? I'd like to do something kind for them in remembrance of my friend Jonathan. And it came out that this person came to him and said that, yes, there was a son, one son still left of Jonathan's house. And what was his name? I like the people who are brave enough to try to pronounce that. Mephibosheth, right? I had to practice that. Mephibosheth, right? And he said, bring him. Now, if I was Mephibosheth, I would be feeling a little trepidatious about that. He had killed he hadn't killed my father, but he was my grandfather's enemy, right? And David didn't suffer fools gladly. So, do you think he was a little scared being brought to David? Yes. David was a bloody man. But he brought him, and he said, don't worry, David said. He said, don't worry, Meph. He said, I want to do something kind for you. I want to be kind to you in remembrance of your father, Jonathan. He saved you a place. But the thing is, Mephibosheth had an issue. You see, He wasn't perfect. He was lame. He was broken. But David said, don't worry, I want you to come and sit at my table and eat with my family. I'm so glad that Jesus looks at my lameness and my brokenness and still invites me to his table. Amen? Can you say amen to that, brothers and sisters? Is that good news? Because, brothers and sisters, each and every one of us is lame. We are broken. We have a sinful nature and live in a sinful world. And Jesus says, I want you to sit at my table where I can serve you at that marriage supper of the Lamb. Now, if you can't get excited about that, you need to go home and check your fluids because you may be running low. That is good news, brothers and